Hey peeps, it's your boy Dilly, and this one ain't gonna be easy, but this is probably gonna be the most important video ever made. So we're gonna talk about psychopaths, but I think the new correct term would be narcissistic personality disorder. Although I don't really think it's a disorder, it's just the way people are wired. So, let me just tell you a story about Dilly when Dilly was 18 or 19 years old. I first, had my first apartment when I was 16, 17. I just turned 17. There's three of us in a one-bedroom efficiency, but none of us worked. And somehow every day we ended up with a case of beer, some weed to smoke, and we made a rent. None of us worked. I mean, I don't just forced to be clever and come up with a little bit of cash. Well, the rent was $300, so we each had to come up with $100 at the end of the month. Very clear, many ways of doing that. That street smart, that hustle in you. Those are skills that are just not taught or even teachable. They're self-taught. And they're good business skills to have. Right? Anyway. So, when I was 17, I moved to LA with my band. And learned that pretty quick that unless you're willing to pretty much sell your soul to the devil, you ain't going to make it in the music industry. Just ain't gonna happen, no matter how talented you are. So, right before I moved to LA, I fell in love with this girl, and then I ended up with her in Florida because she, when I came back here, we were dating. She was living with me, and she shattered her ankle in a car accident. So she wanted to be in Florida with her family where everything's flat and it's accessible, and spent a year down there, Port St. Lucie, worked 2 jobs. I ended up with an apartment on the 3rd floor, so I carried an 80-pound wheelchair up and down that fucker for like 6 months, 3 or 4 times a day. I know, Gary. And when she got better, she cheated on me, and more times than I probably realized, but after I broke up with her, I realized it was quite a bit. Anyway, I moved back here, and I had my one best friend all the way through high school. His name was Sam, and his friend, who's like our mutual friend, Mike. Sam, I was in the band with, alright? Sam, knew him since I was 13. We were kind of outcasts at school, kind of like the goth kids in South Park. Like, everyone was wearing cross-colored shirts and digging the MTV, and I'm like, pretty fly for a white guy. You know what I mean? Like, so, whatever, people made fun or whatever the fuck, dude, but I grew my hair long, so did he, so did a couple of our friends, and we were just like, to that system. To that mindfuckery of, we just weren't conformist. Anyway, because of that, we had a solid bond. I mean, we were ourselves, we were funny people. Like, you sat at the lunch table with us in high school, dude, you were crying hysterically from laughing. Anyway, we hustled, our old apartment, and both had loved and lost a few times, and anyway, we had started an entertainment company. And we get to the narcissism part because we're talking about Sam. Alright, so started an entertainment company. And the way we framed it, I can't exactly go into specifics about certain things, you understand. Anyway, just started an entertainment company. And the way we wanted to work and function, because it was kind of like a hustle type entertainment company, relaxation therapy and things like that, of that nature. So, because we were young, because, I didn't look as old as the other guys. They had like full beards at like 18 and shit. I pretended to not know them. I was just the driver. Even though, I was a third partner. It worked. And it's beneficial to me because I got to learn the backside of that industry, because I got to learn the psychology of the entertainment. All the girls with daddy issues and broken homes and their rampant narcissism and their materialism and their hustle and their psychology, what makes them tick, all that shit. But anyway, we kept our heads above the water for 3 months, kept investing every dollar we had back into it. And all of a sudden, one day, the place was starting to make money. It was making like $1,000 a day, net. Net. Split 3 ways, right? But then things got complicated. We were all handshake deals and all that shit. And the power and the money started going to everyone's head. But because I was looked at as a lonely driver, I started cutting me out little by little. And then we got time to expand. So I was answering phones at the time, running the place. They both went to Baltimore to scout out new properties that we could expand on. And they each took their girlfriends with them. So they met through the industry. And shit hit the fan out there. They came back and I decided who to side with. And I'm like, well, I'm not taking sides. All 3 of us are together. You guys both tried fucking me out of it, so I don't even know why I'm going to do you this favor, but one person gets the $10,000 in the safe to start a new place, the other person gets the place, and that's just the way it is. Half the girls go with one person, half the girls go to the other. That's how we solved it. And I stuck by my friend from high school, who is the narcissist, and always plays that card. Dude, I love you. You're my bro. We've been through thick and thin, and and but really, what he was and is to this day is a master manipulator. I could have went with Mike, but I also knew Mike was an asshole too. But Sam, well, I used to say things like, the dude has a black heart or has absolutely no soul. Or he's the kind of guy who's incapable of loving other people. I mean, he might think he loves something or someone, dude, but it doesn't compute with him. He's not wired like that. He's a psychopath. And anytime he says the bro card or the love or all that shit, dude, it's just him using it as a manipulation tactic, because it does not compute, because he does not have the capacity for remorse or regret. And maybe he does on some level, but he just does not give a fuck about anyone but himself. I didn't know this at the time. I always saw the best in him, and thick and thin for like 7-8 years together, right? But we took on another partner, Mike, another Mike, not the same Mike, and I'm like, dude, you didn't even run it by me. You just kind of made this decision. I'm like, are you sure you can trust him? He's going to follow the protocols? He's just going to do his own things? He's going to be Wild Wild West? Place got busted with it, got pinched within a week on his shift because he did not follow the protocols I set. Because I ran security. And I was always trying to beat my own security. Get me? But because people don't listen, shit goes wrong and it fucks everybody. So, despite that, we kept rolling. Because it's just charges, you know what I mean? It's not like we had to burn the place down or nothing. But then, we got rid of Mike. And then he takes on another third partner again without asking me. He took on his girlfriend as a partner, and she didn't have to do anything. And mind you, I invested everything I had, all my blood, sweat, tears, worked 100 hours a week at this thing. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. This place only exists because of me. Well, it exists because of all of us, but I could have fucked you and given you nothing. And you pulled that shit over in Baltimore. And I could have just kept the place and the fucking money. Because you know what? You guys both fucked me. And yet I tried to do the right thing by both of you. And every time I kept trying to do right by this fucking guy who's, oh, bro, I love you, and all that shit, dude, he only gave a fuck about himself. He's a narcissist. And a pathological liar. The problems with narcissists are they think everybody else is stupid. And they think everybody has a short memory. Your boy Dilly ain't no fucking fool. Wasn't then. Sure shit ain't now. And how weary it must be to remember all those lies. Because honestly, and this goes with probably every narcissist, they're all pathological liars who cannot help themselves but to keep lying. It's got to be so tedious, man. I can't imagine that type of existence where I'll constantly have to remember lies. And then, like, when people call you out on your shit, instead of fessing up or taking responsibility for what do these narcissists do? They keep fucking lying. You catch them in a lie over and over again. They just lie their way out of it, like you're dumb. And that's the insulting part about it. They think you're dumb. Oh, no, I didn't lie. I never lied. I never, ever, 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 ever told you a lie. That's just the way it is. Getting off track here. So I did my own thing for a while. And then he had some shit happen to him. He had to close up his place. And stupid me, took him back on as a partner. So I had to bounce out because I got chased out of town because I wasn't in the city limits. I was in the township, and this crooked motherfucking cops, man, with their hands out there. They just, because I didn't know how to grease the wheels back then, they just kept chasing me out of one town to the next, to the next, to the next, and whatever. So I reluctantly took him on, and by this time, Sam was a man who never figured out what he really wanted in life. He just wanted to party like a rock star, which most people just do. It was all about gratification and pleasure. There was nothing fulfilling about his life. Every relationship he had was basically meaningless because he was incapable of loving the other person. And here's the other thing about a narcissist, and this is true with most people. All thieves think all other people on this world are thieves, and all liars think everybody else in this world is a liar. Which is kind of generally true to some degree, but there are exceptions. There are people out there that are good, faithful, loyal, honest people. I'm one of them. And it sucks. Because I get taken advantage of all the time. And most people aren't worth my love and my effort. But I do it anyway because I always try to do the right thing. I actually have a heart and a soul, and I actually give a shit about other people, especially those less fortunate than me. I'm always trying to empower others with knowledge, with respect. I'm always trying to elevate those around me. The narcissist, however, sees everyone and everything as pawns to forward an agenda. All right? There's nothing evil or good about it. It's just the way they are wired. And one thing you absolutely cannot do, this is how you tell if you're talking to a narcissist or not, is you tell them fucking no and they flip the fuck out. What do you mean no? It's like, it means no. It means you're being an asshole, dude, and you're being selfish, and you want me to do all this stupid shit because and the worst part of it is I want to help you, but I just can't keep track of all of your lies. How tedious it must be to remember all your fucking lies you've ever told. Imagine that. Imagine you tell 100 lies a day to 10 or 12 different people, and you start losing track of what story you told to who. Right? Right? Anyway, I reluctantly took him back on as a partner, and you know what? I only took about 3 or 4 months, and he just turned to crack, dude. I'll just be honest with it. That dude did about $500 to $600 of cocaine a night. That dude was, well, it wasn't quite Hunter Biden, but the dude could fucking party, dude. He was like Charlie Sheen level, fucking banging 7-gram rocks, right? And it started fucking up the business, because instead of having to work, what we did was we were open 16 hours a day, so I'd work a 16 and 8, and I'd have that 8 and that 16 off, and he would cover, right? So that way we can work our ass off, right? And then party your ass off every other night. It was beautiful, but you couldn't even make it into work. Couldn't even work one day. Got to the point where he would work 1 day a week. Instead of splitting the money, he just started taking it. He's like, oh, I'm just taking this, and yeah, right to the fucking hood, you know? So, because I loved the man, and he was, despite him being a narcissist, he's a brilliant fucking guy. So why? I put out with his bullshit. Because he could do things that I couldn't. I could do things that he couldn't. I was savvy on security, the runs on, the day-to-days, like taking care of the details. He was very good at planning and recruiting. We fed off each other, right? We bounced ideas off each other. We were fucking great at it. And he was my friend for 8 years this time. So I said, dude, there's this business thing we want to do in LA, right? Maybe now's a good time for it. Give him something to live for. Get him clean. Help him save his own life. I sent him $1,000 a day for 6 months while I lived in LA. He didn't have to do nothing. And love. And a possible business opportunity for both of us. And he moved out there with his girlfriend. She had $40,000 worth of clothes. That's how she spent her money. And she was a good hustler. She made like $100,000 a year, like working with us. She spent on clothes, and shoes. Didn't save a goddamn son of it. She just fucking. Whatever. So I fell in love with this girl before I moved out there to join him because my business was getting hot. I made $2,000 a day net. The last 3 days I was in business. I was probably averaging $1,600, $1,700 a day profit. I was 21 or 22. Just turned 22. But the heat was on because I was, it was not a grease the wheels, and I was the #1 place in Pittsburgh. And a big target on my back. And these Vice Squad type people, dude, they're basically demoted detectives and shit because they're fucking incompetent. And so I put them on Vice. It almost got me one time, but then, like, I outsmarted him. And then I followed the guy out to his little crew. And I took all their pictures, and I put them right next to the fucking door, so, like, they never got served ever again. Or never even got let in the door. Oh, sorry, we're full today, sir. Oh, there's a fire, man. We're going to have to... Oh, sorry, you can't come in today. Man, how many false names they give or whatever bullshit story? They're just fat slobs, disgusting, smelly, retarded, wannabe cops. I mean, they're officially cops, but you know what I mean. They're like your best friends, or you guys belong to the same club together, right? And it's like your best friend's nephew who wants to be a cop, but he's very incompetent, so you hire him, you put him on Vice Squad. I'm sorry, guys. You know, I can't help bashing cops whenever I can. Right. Anyway. So, I had to close up shop. I thought I hadn't get into details of what I was going to do in LA. Basically, let me put it to you this way. We were setting up as a casting agency. where we were getting footage of people putting their portfolios together, which we were going to direct market on TV, like the GGW. Enough said. So we rented out like the Holiday Inn Select in Hollywood, in the Beverly Garland Suite there. We rented out the conference room, and we invited 30 people at a time, put their, give them our spiel, get their money, put a portfolio together, get the video footage, have them sign waivers saying we own the rights to the footage because we were not their employers but their agents. In order to show it around, we needed to have own the rights to those videos. Because GGW was getting sued left and right at this point. They almost went bankrupt. Later, like a few years later, they actually got busted muling like 20 kilos of cocaine in a private jet. That was the level they were on. And we were very close to that. Very close. Just needed the advertising dollar. Anyway, so we were networking with a bunch of washed up celebs and rock stars out there. Let me call you right back. I'm making a video. So we're networking. And we're getting close. We're going to bridge finance the 180 grand we needed for the 60-second slot on both 7:30 and 11:30 on the Howard Stern show, when it was reaching 15 million people nightly. So close. However, at this point, his girlfriend had enough of his shit, dude, because he was a narcissist. Imagine living with a narcissist in a relationship for a year. The manipulation, the fucking craziness, man, the lies, the bullshit. He had to always have the upper hand, always basically finding ways to put her more and more on lockdown and keep her under his thumb. So she left his ass and took like most of his shit with her because she was just a conniving whore. So he probably didn't deserve that, but I don't know, I wasn't there. Anyway, now this time, my fiance was drop dead gorgeous. He fell in love with her. And how he got her to not want to be with me? He lied to her, because that's what narcissistic manipulators do. He cheats on you, you know that? Never did. I was in 6 long-term relationships, and I was always a monogamous guy, because if I'm with someone that I love, I don't want to be with anyone else. Despite how much money I made and the constant quality of talent that went through my doors, they really don't fuck around. I look for fulfillment, not pleasure. I'd rather have a meaningful relationship with a girl that gets me than a fornicate with 100 porn stars. Anyway, he lied to her, so I cheated on her. And one day I wake up and I find that my credit card machine ran up for $20,000 in bogus sales. My bank account was empty. My best friend and my business partner, my fiance, are gone. My credit was ruined. And I was damn near penniless in Los Angeles because they fled Salt Lake City, Utah, of all goddamn places, to hide from me. Everything we worked for 4 years, gone. I should have cut him off a long, long time ago. But because I'm a loving person, loyal, loving person, I paid the price because I let a narcissist in my life. Anyway, long story short, I was in LA. I had like a couple $1,000s left in my name, dude. I had BMW. I had a car payment. My rent was a small apartment, but I lived by myself in LA, which the rent was like $1,200 a month in Sherman Oaks. Yeah. I'm like, well, I could pay, So basically, I bought a bunch of replica Oakleys online somewhere. So on my beach, people are squinting. I did okay. I was making like $1,000 a week doing that. Did it for about a month or so, and then I got greedy. I'm like, well, I'll just open up a place on the 3rd Pier in Santa Monica, and well, they have a lot of UCs there that I got spanked for copyright infringement. Tried to get me for like racketeering, conspiring workers' crime, but they dropped those charges. I just had to pay $5,000 restitution to Oakley and trying out. Anyway, so I basically had just enough money to get home. I hired a moving company and they ransomed my shit. Stole half my shit. Like, it stole like tens of $1,000s worth of shit. They charged me double. And then it's just like a fuck you after the fact. I turned to drugs for a long time because I was so hurt. It's better to have nothing than to have everything and lose it. Which is why I'm poor. I never gave a fuck about money. I wanted fulfillment. Most people, they just want shit and more shit and more shit. And the more they have, the more they want and the more they need. Because it's unfulfilling. So, why am I talking about this today? Because now that my foot is better because I shattered a motherfucker in an accident while I was chopping wood, while I was helping a friend build a refuge out in the mountains. There's a lot to that story, but we're going to skip over that. I came here to get back on my feet. Spiritually, mentally, physically. Trying to turn this lead into gold. Work out my flaws. Right? Anyway. I met a guy who reminds me of Sam. He's a very successful guy. He's brilliant. And I love the guy. He's family. Even from the day I met, like, I could tell it's like a brother. However, he exhibits the same exact traits as Sam. And go, why, God, of all the fucking people, did you put this guy in my life? Maybe it's a second chance. Maybe I could do for him what I couldn't do for Sam. Save him from himself. He's a very successful businessman. But that personality type. Now, if it was the first time I encountered it, I wouldn't be aware of it. But after studying and self-educating myself for 7 years on neurolinguistic programming, on interrogation techniques, how to spot deceptive behavior, if I wasn't subjected to 6.5 years of psychological warfare, I wouldn't be able to see it. And I love this dude. I love this man to death. Family, right? However, I caught him in a couple lies so he can manipulate me into thinking certain things. And he does it with everyone, which I'm cool with because I need a guy like that. If I'm going to partner with someone and build up a business, I need that savviness. Like, his money is brilliant and I love it. However, I need someone I can trust. And after everything I've been through in LA, well, you kind of understand why I'm telling you all this, because this is where it's brought me to, and this is why. I don't know if I'm going to publish this video or not, or if I'm going to send it at a later time. But, Mr. Big, I caught you lying to me a few times. Alright? And instead of taking responsibility or saying, yes, you know what, I'm sorry, I don't know why I did that, it was fucked up. You kept lying. And you will keep lying, and keep lying, and keep lying, and keep denying, because you will never, ever, ever take responsibility for your lies. And the worst part is, you project everything that you are and all your shortcomings onto the people you love around you, which is why you have that little problem. Everything you're doing, you're accusing your lover of doing. You asked me to help you. So I came up with quite a few solutions for you, my friend. However, because you are a narcissist, you won't accept any of my advice or my help. You just want to keep using me. Be your eyes and ears. I am not stupid, my friend. And yeah, I play along sometimes, man, but because I got nothing better to do, to be honest with you. And yes, I would love for us to do things together, dude, because I know with your brilliant mind and my brilliant mind put together, we can take over the goddamn world if we really wanted to. However, a partnership must be built on trust. And until you learn to listen to me and stop fucking lying to me, we ain't going nowhere, my friend. And the one thing you are incapable of hearing is the word no. Because, and I'm not trying to be an asshole here. I'm not judging you for this, man. But in your mind, you are the center of the universe, and nobody else fucking matters except you. Which is fine. I don't judge you for it, man. I wish I could be more like that. But we're going to play the bro, I love you card. Hey, can you do this for me? I'm going to tell you no. And you're going to flip out like a little fucking bitch whose skin his knee. Fuck you mean no? You won't say no to me. You will say that to me. You will say that to me when I tell you no tomorrow. Or the next day. And then I'm going to show you this video. I'm going to say, see? So, I'm going to talk to you in a few days, my friend. And I'm just going to ask you politely. It's like, dude, why did you lie to me? Why did you say that person said that? Just get in my head. I didn't lie to you. I never lied to you. I love you. You're my brother. That's exactly what you're going to say. Exactly what you're going to say. And then I'm going to say, we're done. And then I'm going to send you this fucking video. And I hope you made it to the 33 fucking minute mark, my friend. Irony. Right? Anyway. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope it's as beneficial to you to hear these things as it is for me to say them, because this was a unburdening of emotional scars. Anyway, I love you all. And you, my friend, I love you too. I hope I don't have to send you this video in anger. And if I do send this to you, it's for your benefit as well as mine, because I want everything above board, and I promised you I would always be honest, and this is me being honest. If you don't like what I have to say, well, that's your problem, because I tell the truth.